in Balochistan, Ghotki in Sindh, Sadiqabad in Punjab, Dera Ismail Khan in Banu in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. There I engaged with the members of the district judiciary and the bar, and I must acknowledge the valuable contribution made in this regard by my brother judge, Justice Shahid Waheed. His contribution in advising me in formulating the agenda cannot be ignored. Their insights, the insights of, they helped me to identify the core issues, many of which were later included in the agenda of the National Judicial Policy Making Committee, which was finally convened on this 11th of July 2025. Now, it is my clear and firm belief that collective wisdom must always prevail over individual wishes. And without taking ownership of all the stakeholders, reforms are never lasting or effective. Guided by these principles, we, after thorough deliberation, reached unanimous agreement on 11 issues. I will only discuss a few which are relevant for the symposium that we are having today. First was, let's take the first, which was commercial litigation corridor. It was decided that what is going to happen is issues relating to corporate matters should be dealt with by one court, and same was the case with the appellate forum. It should have one forum and a bench of the High Court which should be assigned to deal with these cases, and same is the case with the Supreme Court. This will bring in consistency in the decisions, and hopefully it will also shorten the period of deciding such cases. We also discussed double docket regime, where we discussed whether there should be 2 shifts in courts. This matter was left to the high courts, and inshallah we are meeting again on the 18th of August, where each high court will give us an input of how they want to proceed with it. Same is the case with establishment of model criminal trial courts. Well, in this case, we said what we're going to do is all the oldest pending criminal trials before the sessions will be taken up by these model courts, and they will be decided on a day-to-day basis. The one very important is the institutionalization of court-annexed mediation. Let me tell you, mashallah, we've got 20 trained judicial officers already in our judiciary, and we have to take maximum use and utilize their expertise. And it was decided that to start off with, one district in every every high court will take up this particular mandate, and we will assess how the progress has been made and decide about it after 3 months, and we will increase this particular aspect of it, but only once we see how the progress of the initial steps that have been taken. Then comes timelines for disposal of different category of cases. 13 different items were taken up: declaratory suits, declaratory inheritance, injunctions, rent cases, family suits, succession cases, execution petitions, labor cases. There were the 13 on which we decided. This can be increased later, but to start off with, we started with 13, and the high courts have been asked to give us the timeline that they think is appropriate. We will inshallah decide it on the 18th. Then comes the Professional Excellence Index. This is something which we've introduced to facilitate talent hunt of lawyers for induction into the district judiciary and elevation to the high court judicial positions. Then comes this particular, the district judiciary will gauge the lawyers who come and argue cases before you, and then you will pass it on to the registrar, and the data will be collected over there. And when the time comes for induction into the district judiciary or the high courts, this particular data will help us in engaging. There are certain lawyers who are practicing law in furthest districts, and they don't come to the high courts, and so they don't come within the view of the high courts and the bar. So this is a step which we have taken, which will bring in the young lawyers also. They will be given an opportunity, and those who are let's put it this way, who are apolitical and have no political affiliation, and they are genuinely professional lawyers. So this will bring up, will give an opportunity for them to be also considered. Then is ethical guidelines for use of AI in the judiciary. Undoubtedly, given the rise of AI and the benefits associated with its use, integrating it into the justice delivery system is our top priority. No doubt about that. However, the adoption of AI must not be blind or uncritical, as it raises complex ethical and legal concerns that demand careful consideration. To this end, the National Judicial Automation Committee, a committee comprising of justices of the high courts and headed by my illustrious brother, Justice Muhammad Ali Mazhar, have been requested to prepare and recommend an ethical framework for the use of AI in the judiciary. We hope that this initiative, along with the willingness of our judiciary to use AI, will enable us to integrate AI into our processes safely and allow us to make our justice delivery system more efficient, transparent, and above all, citizen-centric. Now, let's come to some important reforms relating specifically to the well-being of the district judiciary. I'll start with the institutional response to external influence on judges of the district judiciary. Mind you, as far as the superior judiciary is concerned, this issue is now with the Supreme Judicial Council, and they are deliberating on how to proceed and to formulate it. But as far as the district judiciary is concerned, we have decided that we will proceed as under. Before I tell you how and what the committee has decided, let me tell you about my views on it. It is my dream to see an aggrieved citizen across our beautiful country to confidently walk into the court of a magistrate or a civil court in his own local tongue and not be burdened to go to the High Court or to the Supreme Court to seek redressal of his grievances. But to make this happen, we must ensure that the district judiciary is empowered, protected, and fully supported in discharging its duties. Now, in this regard, you will be pleased to know that the committee has resolved that each High Court shall formulate clear guidelines for members of the district judiciary to follow in case they face any extraneous influence, along with the defined response of the High Courts to counter such instances. I have invited the Chief Justices of the High Courts to consider including the role of the Chief Justice of Pakistan in response framework they choose to adopt, so that the institutional support is strong and unified. The message must be clear to all that the Chief Justice of Pakistan shall stand with and support an independent, honest, steadfast judicial officer, inshallah. Let's come to some less emotional issues. This is regarding performance evaluation of district judiciary, standardization of recruitment mechanism of district judiciary policy forum, parity in terms and condition of service of district judiciary, access to international exposure opportunities. These were issues when I used to go to these remote areas and meet the judicial officers over there. These were highlighted by them when I met them. Now, it's very easy for us to sit in the Supreme Court and frame policies regarding them. No, we decided we're not going to go this way. We said, let the district judiciary ponder over it and let them deliberate and finally propose to us what they want. Because it does not restrict to a particular province or a high court. So we have decided that it should be given to a committee which should be headed by a judge of the a retired judge of the Supreme Court who has come up on the rungs of the district judiciary. And you'll be pleased to know that it was Mr. Justice retired Rahmat Hussain Jafri Saab who's agreed to take on this task as the chairman of this committee, with Mr. Justice Rozi Khan, Chief Justice of Balochistan, to assist him. Similarly, the registrars of the High Courts and the Director General of Federal Judicial Academy, all of them are from the district judiciary. And I hope and pray they seek your guidance in this. And I must tell you that this is something which is very close to my heart. And I hope and inshallah we will be able to give you what you deserve, what you need and what you deserve. Now to some good news also. You will be pleased to know that we are in contact with the Supreme Court of People's Republic of China and the Constitutional Court of Turkey to enter into MOU for judicial cooperation for a period of 5 years. In this regard, the Supreme Court of China, agreeing to the terms of the MOU, has informally committed to host 30 judicial officers of the district judiciary to visit China next year. As for our engagement with the Constitutional Court of Turkey, our brother Excellency is with us. You'll be glad to know that our first batch of 5 worthy members from the Law and Justice Commission, National Judicial Academy, and from the establishment of the Supreme Court are still on their first trip of 18 days. Hopefully they will be back soon. And I thank you for that, Your Excellency. Respected members of the judiciary, as the Chief Justice of Pakistan has committed to caring for your well-being, he invites you to also commit to the highest ideals of public service. Always be diligent, disciplined, and respectful. Embrace accountability. Empathize with the citizen you serve, and always be polite and humble with them. These standards are not an additional burden, but always for you to honor your role, a role that matters not so much to the judiciary, but to the entire nation. Ladies and gentlemen, now let me appreciate the Federal Judicial Academy for organizing this national symposium under the thoughtful leadership of my brother Judge, Justice Mia Gul Hasan Aurangzeb. I commend you and your team for this excellent symposium. I also express my deep appreciation to all speakers, panelists, and development partners who have contributed to the dialogue today. The declaration we have adopted today shall serve as a moral compass and a practical catalyst for developing a national judicial well-being framework. To my fellow judges, this day is a tribute to your silent strength. But more than that, it is a promise that you are not alone. The entire institution is behind you. And I am fully committed to make your well-being priority of our reform agenda. But let me remind you, institutional changes take time. But I am proud that together we are making steady, thoughtful progress towards a system that serves both the judicial officers and the citizen with integrity and care. Today, by the grace of God, we gave voice to what was long left and felt but rarely said. That changes everything. From here on, may our support match the weight of what we carry. May Allah Almighty help us all in this noble endeavor. Ameen. Pakistan, Zindabad.